Шановні колеги, всім
colleagues, good morning to everybody. We thank all those who came here. We are going to continue our working day in the UCMC, and our next topic is the training of Ukrainian paramedics in Estonia in 2015-16. I give the floor to Hanna Maiboroda, the tactical medicine trainer, graduate of the first group of TCCC course in Estonia, head of the board, NGO, All-Ukrainian Association, the Patriot. Good morning, dear friends. Welcome to everybody who joined us here today. I'm going to introduce to you the people who sit next to me here on this platform. So the first speaker of our press conference is going to be Ms. Anastasiya Mykhailova, Project Coordinator, Humanitarian Assistance and Development Cooperation, Embassy of the Republic of Estonia in Ukraine. Next to her, in military uniform, you can see Yuri Marchenko, who is the head of the medical unit in May 2015. He is also graduate of the first group in Estonia. Next to me is the former head of the 93rd Brigade of 1st Battalion, hero of Ukraine, Roman Babych, Lieutenant of Medical Service. He is also a graduate of the first group of TCCC course in Estonia, and you also see the paramedic, hero of Ukraine, people's hero, at physician and the head medical unit of Aidar, first wave of mobilization till August 2015. Oh, he was a volunteer since April that year, and he became the head of the medical unit in August. Also, Dmytro Kavyda, Major of the Medical Service, Professor of the Chair of Medicine in the Armed Forces of Ukrainian Military Medical Academy, graduate of the first group of TCCC course of Estonia. And now I turn the mic to Anastasiya Mykhailova. Thank you, Hanna. Once again, welcome to everybody. It's my pleasure to present to you this project, which other participants and organizers from Ukraine are going to tell more about that. Speaking about Ukraine and Estonia cooperation, that was a very important effort. When a guy enters the fight or the combat environment, he has to know that if he is wounded, he will be provided very high quality first medical aid, and his life is going to be saved. That's why the level of cooperation between the NGOs of Estonia and Ukraine, we actually implemented this project. We offered training to Ukrainian paramedics, and actually that was a wonderful example of how at the level of NGO we can very quickly organize or establish cooperation with very efficient outcome and results, and our participants will tell you more about that. As you can see, some of them are heroes of Ukraine, awarded this bestowed this high award. Besides, it should be noted that the project was implemented in the format train the trainer. That means that the participants in training courses coming back to Ukraine, after coming back to Ukraine, they will share their knowledge and skills with their colleagues in Ukraine, in this way to increase or to expand the field of those experts who will be able to, in due time and efficiently render offer the medical aid in the field environment. This is actually the best, most important result of our cooperation with Estonia, because Estonia tries to share their experience to the maximum extent so that some other people could later apply it in practice, in practical environment. You remember this saying, it's better to give a guy a fishing rod than to give him a fish. Of course, we really need some financial assistance, But unfortunately, any amount of money sooner or later will expire, so to say, will come to an end. So we actually supported as much we could this project, and that was very successful one, and we hope to have further cooperation in the future. Thank you again. Once again, my name is Hanna Maiboroda. I was involved in the military medical census in April 2014. Then actually we established, started to launch the cooperation with a wonderful NGO organization of Ukraine. Those are very good people involved in former military guys and represents consulate organization, and the assistance they selected for us to take care of, to provide it us, was very useful. The tactical medicine, tactical aid, some kind of the medical kits, which we really wanted a lot. We were in bad need in May and June 2014, and the first delivery we received, there was first technical medical backpacks, and I personally brought those rucksacks to Izum and delivered to the guys there. There was a separated or detached unit of the Alpha Division. Those are our colleagues who specialize in gathering of humanitarian aid in Estonia, and they actually carry that out in the format of providing medical kits and rucksack. I myself am a medical officer, but I would like to say the medical kit, first aid kit, without the knowledge is just a bag with something, So we provided some training how to use those things contained in those first aid kits. You can see in rucksacks on this slide, which they provided us with. I would like to say to you that this small country, Estonia, population which is smaller, the total population is smaller than the population of the city of Kyiv. They provide us this valuable aid and assistance during the onset period of the war. Some other countries were just thinking whether they should do something about that or not, or provide us some assistance or aid or not. They did already, and they actually provided us with those things which were badly needed at the front line. Some of our medical colleagues, our medical officers, maybe will tell you how how they really cried, shed the tears when they received those rucksacks and medical or first aid kits. You can see that they provided 274 rucksacks, complete with all necessary things at the level of the medical instructor, which are meant for the work to be used in small groups. A platoon paramedic rucksack 21, 1,054 EFAC, individual first aid kits, stretches 382. They also collected another thing. They collected also 230,000 euros, which is a big sum of money for that small country. Now, speaking about the instructors, when they actually send these very good things to the front, we had to study by the book. We didn't have any tactical medicine. Actually, I was the cradle of the birth of tactical medicine in Ukraine. I must say that a group of people, of our colleagues in Estonia, they made a very good present, the special course. Believe me that over the 2 years of war, neither country helps us in the form of such a tactical medicine course, or it's called TCCC. They actually kind of adjusted that. They offered that for the pilots during the years of World War II. They actually abridged that course, and they adjusted to a bit, but the knowledge they provide is very useful. They actually managed to provide for Ukraine 50 instructors with international certificate. They not only can teach the military personnel, this level must be provided for all the medical officers, so tactical levels starting from the sanitary aide and head of the medical battalion. We had 4 training groups. The first group in March last year. We planned for a long time to take those courses. The first attempt not always very successful, but we managed to do that, and we came back to Ukraine with new knowledge. Each group includes 20 persons. And the list of those who actually were sent to Estonia can see on this slide. My colleagues, paramedics, who actually taught the military guys just in the trenches, like myself, the level of professional level, with medical diploma, without medical diploma. They provided the knowledge to the people, to the personnel else anywhere, including the cow sheds or any kind of whatever. And this is our, it was difficult to select the people, to organize, and to ensure everybody has necessary permits, and to think what those people are going to do when they come back. It was a very difficult task, and in this cooperation with WABA, we managed to coordinate anybody to monitor everybody each member of the military personnel of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. If we are talking about the representatives of the former graduates of Estonian courses, we established or set up the first small mobile division. This is the first ever one in Kyiv. There was the graduates, so that's the second and third training groups in Estonia. We have another rotation, which also includes the graduate from the Estonian TCCC is number 2. Actually, again, 170,000 euros, which is a big sum of money for Estonia. This is the total cost of training trainers. And believe me, that each of us actually, we shared our knowledge with such a number of the instructors that our task for this year is to establish a system trainer for trainer already in the territory of Ukraine. Now you can see what is contained in the rucksack. This is instructors rucksack. This is a FAC rucksack and its contents. I really appreciate that we managed to organize or to select 4 groups. 60 people underwent training in Estonia. I once again emphasize that this is a wonderful present to our country, and again I emphasize this is the only exclusive training course in exclusive aid or assistance given to Ukraine during the warfare times. Now I would like to give the floor to the men sitting next to me who in practice apply their knowledge in practical environment. And first of all, I would like to give Vladyslav lecture since September till the fall of 2015 was part of medical service of the Aidar battalion. For some time I was acting head of the medical service of the Aidar battalion, but mostly I occupied the position of deputy head of this medical service. Since summer 2015, the medical service, well, we are talking about the field medical service, which actually was not fixedly stationed. Mostly we worked in the field. On 29th of August 2015, we left the Lugansk airport. The paratroopers left that airport after us. It was the city of Chassis, which now is considered to be the frontline area. We went back to Ukraine. We were absolutely in. We were torn uniforms, absolutely exhausted, and we could not understand how we could return back. And owing to Olga, I forgot her. Okay, Olga Melchuk, the 12th Kiev battalion, they provide us with rucksacks. They shared rucksacks with us, and later we came to know that those were Estonian rucksacks, complete with all necessary things. Yeah, we did not cry, honestly speaking, but honestly speaking, we were not prepared to get such a gift, a present. I have to say that our medical protocols, who actually, what was the medical service of volunteer battalions in those days, just ordinary medical officers, civil physicians who went to the front because they understood that somebody had to do that. When I actually acquainted myself with the protocol TCCC, and then I was a member of the third group of training in Estonia, and came to understand that the military medical protocols of NATO and our protocols differ a lot, like words and deeds. In Estonia, they taught me very simple things. Simple things can save lives, and simple things can kill you. They taught me the algorithm of how you have to treat what you have to do the wounded person without even knowing what kind of trauma or injury or wounds he or she has. But owing to this specific medical protocol, we won't miss anything. I mean, over 10 days of training. This is intensive training course. I don't know, starting from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. We just studied. We didn't have time for anything else. We had to absorb, devour all the knowledge and train ourselves and get practical training. I was part of the third group of trainees. I don't know what was the situation in other groups, but the Estonian officers who participated in the NATO missions and who taught us, and they took care of the Iraq or Afghanistan missions. First of all, they understood that what they were talking about. They knew what adrenaline means, what war means. And proceeding from that, they actually taught us the protocol in those conditions which we're going to find ourselves later. We were happy to realize what kind of the attitude of the WAB organization, the Estonian Academy. They not just taught us just to know something. They actually tried to turn us into the tool, which later becomes a handy tool for anybody else. I do not have the accurate statistics regarding the groups and trainers. Over this period of time, I trained about 130, 150 persons, if you're talking about the lower paramedics. If you're talking about medical officers, trained 30 or 40 people. They are now find themselves in the ATO zone. And we understand that we cannot have the lectures at a fixed time. That's why within 2 or 3 days we actually offer them lectures, whatever can teach them. The rucksacks delivered to us by our Estonian, now very close friends, because after such training, their attitude to us, we cannot be but bosom friends. Until this day, they help us. They provide us with different kind of medications and the rucksacks and the frames materials. If I'm not mistaken, 1.3 million population strong country we are talking about, and those figures about the money managed to collect at 230,000 euros. You can imagine that each Estonian actually contributed to that sum of money. Okay, plus 170, more than 400,000 euros, including, almost half a euro each, or 55. Actually, that was the aid which was provided to us by Estonia, and those are kind of balanced figures. And if we're talking about each euro cent, it still has its payback. One trained trainer means 50 or 100 trained by this trainer medical or paramedics in Ukraine. And all those who are trained, they already going to either are going to the ATO zone or they are part of the rotation period. So this is kind of ongoing process, and we provide to give them help with the same enthusiasm.
I would like to say how good is organized and quiet the work of the civil society organization, WAC Ukraine. I don't know, other civil society organization or the fund, yes, civil society organization, WAP Ukraine. Out of 10 days of training of every group, they didn't waste even 1 minute. That's why every euro cent, every minute devoted to this training was spent maximum efficiently. And using this opportunity, I would like to say thank you to Estonia, thank you to WABA Ukraine, from those guys who don't even know which knapsack, which medical treatment saved their life, and thanks to whom they didn't become disabled person. And they couldn't express their gratitude because they didn't know about it. They didn't know how much Estonia made for them and for their lives. Thank you, Estonia. Thank you, WAB Ukraine. Now I give the floor to the people's hero, great Dr. Roman Babych. I met him first in 2014 in grey settlement called Tanenke. Thank you very much. Good day, everybody. Really, from the very beginning, I would like to express my gratitude as well to WABA Ukraine. As tactical medicine teaches how to work when you have deficit of time, resources, and information. Estonian couldn't give us a lot of time, but they gave us a lot of resources and information to save people's lives. At the very beginning of tactical medicine, we were using just our intuition, and we knew tactical medicine for the first time when joint squad should go to the airport for the first time. But that situation showed us that in 2014 we were trying to teach those who will go soon somewhere to the front line, and they need knowledge urgently. Urgent knowledge most often can't come to your head quickly, because in stress situation you need to use muscle memory, and this muscle memory helps you to save people's life. First trip wasn't much, but the very hard events of the defense of Donetsk airport were in December and January of 2015. When we came to study, I was the first, and I'm grateful to the volunteers, to Anya, to Andrei Porokhnitsky, who helped me to get there from ATO, as the situation was difficult. I was the head of the medical unit of the battalion and of 93rd unit as well, and only understanding that I needed helped me to solve this situation, and the military management sent me to this training. The first what happened after my training, my feelings are how many people's lives we could save if I knew it before, if I knew it in October when we just came there as a joint squad, not the battalion. I could teach people, and after that they could help themselves. But unfortunately, this number of injured and dead people that we had, and the reasons of their traumas we faced, now it's very hard to realize that some of them we could avoid, we could save people's lives and health. It's very hard to live with this feeling, because I I had my medical unit who brought people from Ilovaisk. After that, some of them became cyborgs. 4 of them have been to Donetsk airport tower directly. If we had that individual medical kit there in the forest, but we start, and they used to tell me that if we knew what you told us after that training in Estonia, we would understand that the doctor at the war is an angel. He knows everything. He should know how to do everything. There are no excuses. There are no excuses in these circumstances that doctors can't make something in the front line. What did we know from these Estonian people, except for resources, except for medical kits? When our guys came to block the airport with one medical kit, gave but Israeli volunteers. I knew about it after that, and I brought 40 medical kits from Estonian volunteers after that case. The knowledge we got in Estonia allow to teach the people with any level of the preparation. It means that the person who will be the instructor for instructors after this course will be able to give systematic knowledge, allowing to teach any person with any level of preparation, skills, and knowledge. What I'm talking about from the soldiers, because I have no illusions that if I teach just sanitary instructions and doctors, they will sit in every trench. I was there myself. I was the head of the medical unit, and I know that every soldier should be able to give first aid. Every soldier should have resources for that. The meaning is the knowledge that Estonia gave us, that military academy in Tartu gave us. They gave a systematic approach. They gave us algorithms to people to understand how to give medical aid in the right way. On the slides, you can see the examples how the group of the instructors from different organizations are teaching militaries how to give medical aid to themselves and to other people with in different kind of situations and with different traumas. I'm the instructor. I'm the instructor who uses the systematic approach of the soldiers giving of medical aid at the battlefield, and it shows its efficiency. And please believe me, that experience that I got in March helped to improve and correct the mistakes that we had in summertime when we were defending Butovka mine, for example. The level of the medical aid now, the level of the medical unit of the battalion now is much more higher, because this knowledge they give systematic approach showing its efficiency at the front line itself. That's why I thank them for the resources they gave us, for the medical kits, for the knapsacks. With the big range of tools we can use, but without knowledge, it's just a set of consumable parts, because every person who use the knapsack and medical kits, they should understand what for do they have it and how he can replace these things at the battlefield if he doesn't have it. So thank you very much, Estonia, who helped us with our problems that still goes on. And I can guarantee from my side that those guys, these 80 people who were trained there, they will keep on giving this knowledge. And now I give the floor to Yuri. Hello, dear friends. My name is Yuri. I'm the head of medical service of Donbas Battalion in the first. from June 2014. When we are trying to arrange the medicine, understanding that the medicine is important. I was one of the 3 doctors in the battalion, and initially, after I had the course of this tactical medicine, made a lot of wrong things. What do I mean by wrong? We didn't have anybody to advise us that we don't need to focus on resources or materials. We should focus on the knowledge of the people who had been to hot points and whose knowledge on tactical medicine is based on their blood experience. My personal gratitude is to Andres, who found a place in the first course. It was the last vacancy, and thanks to him, I filled this vacancy. And my medical mind and my education is doctor gynecologist. And they make it very simple, tactical, and right. And as one of the previous speakers told, simple things have life. Simple things save life. If you see the blood flowing, just close it. That's it. But really, we need to study these simple things. For example, pocket. If you have a pocket, it can prevent you from stopping the bleeding. Because if, for example, if there is a pack of cigarettes in the pocket, it won't allow you to stop the bleeding. And this is just simple example for you to understand. And we really needed to study these simple things. And I personally knew all the simple things in Estonia. And after that, we gave the simple things to other doctors. And now I can tell you that the number of sanitary losses are much more less. The number of the critical injuries is less. And my gratitude are to our Estonian friends who are doing great quiet things in very and quiet atmosphere. Here on the slide you can see my fighter. She's biologist by education. In my unit there was a lawyer, biologist, choir conductor, and I should teach them simple things, that technical medicine doesn't save just on the war, but also there are a lot of critical situations in normal life. And the ability to understand the situation, ability to focus and to give maximum result with minimum resources saves the life already of many people during traffic incidents, for example, or force majeure circumstances. There are knowledge and skill and experience for the whole life ahead. And I'm very pleased to teach people to know some new things myself, tell something to the kids, because we are invited to the schools and to teach kids and at the universities as well as the first courses. And it would be very nice if every person, every citizen of Ukraine could give first aid to himself, first of all, and to the people around him. And now I give the floor to a nice man who is sitting here in the military uniform. He is a representative of the academy. And on the slides, you can see the results of the instructors. What do we do in Ukraine now? Where do we teach the militaries how we do it? You can see it in parallel way with our speeches. Thank you very much, Anna. My name is Dmytro Kavyda. I'm the major of the medical service, professor as the chair of medicine in the armed forces, Ukrainian Military Medical Academy, and graduate of the fourth group of this course in Estonia. I'm not just professional military. I'm also the part of the medical units, and these examples of training of on the instructors who will keep studying in the future. And you know, sometimes you think what you can teach new if you have students yourself. When we came to the first year of the medical university, they told us that the doctor is a person who will study all his life till the last day of his life, especially if you are talking about military medicine. Because the life changes all the time, and we need to take the best and implement it into the life. So of course these courses gave me a lot of knowledge, especially in the process of preparation of education for other people, especially in technical medicine, because in our academy there are not students, there are doctors, there are experienced doctors who are dealing more with some organizational issues, and one of them is to teach our reports, to have studying on military medical preparation or technical medicine, what we have at the moment. For today, there is a standard of individual preparation of military in the country, and it is based on the knowledge of technical medicine, or this TC3 program, and also it's based on the knowledge from the first group, when first and second group were composed. This one who went to Estonia, they could give practical examples how it was possible to implement this practical knowledge. I thank everybody for our cooperation, and one more aspect is that Ukrainian Military Medical Academy is just partially responsible for the implementation development of the standards. I mean military preparation standards. All standards in the country should be developed not just by the academy, but also by all participants, because there are few types of standards that should be developed. One of them is preparation, and of course we understand that partially it's our duty. And that's why experience received will be implemented. And some time ago we had a meeting in the medical department, and we planned changes into the program of officers' preparation. And for our students, and there will be more practical examples and practical classes. The practical part of our studying was approved some time ago, and we will show the experience we got in different places. It will be combat experience and experience from our colleagues in Estonia, and I thank them very much for their help, their support, and for because they tell us what to do and how to do it. Thank you. And now I will try to answer the questions we didn't cover yet. First question is, summarizing what my friends told you, good civil doctor is a bad tactical doctor in the battlefield. This is the first. Second, I would like to answer the question, why NGO? Why it's not in the intergovernmental level? Because if it is between the countries Ukraine and Estonia, if it would be one of the diplomatic decisions, we could realize it only this year. Because we are quick, we are mobile, we are powerful. Our motivation is a huge desire to help and to solve these issues. So only thanks to only thanks to the status of this project, because it was started between NGOs, Vaba Ukraine and Patriot. Now we have the results. Now we have this 80 instructors in Ukraine, and they transfer their knowledge force. The same as technical medicine standards are our volunteer conditions, because militaries would like to reform themselves, but there is a subordination in the system, and without our help they can't do it. Now I would like to tell you about our plans. What we would like to do this year. First of all, we teach a lot of people already. According to the statistics, just last year, or 65,000 militaries were there, and there are just militaries. It was training arranged by the volunteer instructors from different volunteer organizations. And these instructors gave their knowledge from the instructors who took them in Estonia, and it was without any state support by any state organization. So we have a lot of instructors ready in the armed forces, and our task for this year is to create the system of this training in Ukraine. And we hope Estonia will help us in this issue. And we would like it to go from the relationship between NGO to the relationship between the countries. That's why jointly we would like to solve the issue on this course transfer to the territory of the country, to give us the possibility to start instructor center similar to those existing in Dmytro Academy. And we would like to involve Estonian instructors during first year. We would like them to come here. And at the same time, according to the schedule, in small period of time, we would like to teach 100 instructors of the same level as we are from Armed Forces of Ukraine, creating the system and conditions for the training and creating the rules for the future, how it should do with their coordination.
For example, we are talking about the electronic database of the trainers with the curriculum, etc. So we have a lot of different plans for this year to unite our efforts with the Military Medical Academy, with the trainers instructors, with the Estonian Embassy to Ukraine, the Estonian Ministry of Defense, and the Military Academy, Central Medical Administration of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, to get to collect all those resources and all those seeds which we collected over these years, and put them into the fertile soil. Just to add a few things, we are talking about just about the war, about the armed forces, elite, the divisions, National Guards, those instructors, those trainers who underwent training in Estonia. Those are the white tickets, group 104. They're actively involved in teaching our policemen. Literally, each policeman has to know the TCCC protocol, which we know, and those volunteers who underwent training representing different waves of mobilization in Estonia, they now train the extraordinary ministry or the fire brigades, etc., etc. I had already my experience in the secondary schools, and other white berets working with students, some other organization. I would like to say that Olga Milchik represents the 12th battalion, which I mentioned before. She actually developed and presented, and if I'm not mistaken, specifically here in within those premises, they presented the adjusted TCCC protocol, and that was taken as a basis for training the military personnel. Again, this is an achievement which we can owe to those courses and that protocol. Thank you. I would like also to add a few words, not only the wonderful 44s or the white caps, we also provided training for 1,500 people in the near frontline territory in Kiev and Rivne. So our number is big, and we did a lot. And maybe we can already convene the Congress of the former graduates of the Estonian course and to create the program or the training curricula and the kind of common or conjoined curricula. Any questions or clarification? No, I have an impression that Hanna already answered all the possible questions. Leonid, Protection Patriots, NGO, we also deal with training. So my question is, are we going to develop the standards for training trainers, or we are going, maybe we can pull our efforts to come out with a single standard how to train, what type of trainers we should have, and what we are going to provide kind of training. So who addressed this question? If you will, I can take this question. Thank you very much for coming here. Our partners, the NGO Protection Patriots and the Uliana, who brought here the first foreign trainers and instructors back in spring of 2015, powerful group. As we are talking about the train the trainers program. You know, our country is called Ukraine. You have the some other countries certificate, we as well, but our country has to issue its own certificates, and the first is the Ukrainian Military Academy should take care of that. Owing to our cooperation with you, in last December, January this year, we approved the first technical medical standard in this country. The level of the fighter who can save the life of somebody else or whatever. We also came up with the trainers instructor standard at the same level as TCCC courses, which we went through. I believe that perhaps pooling our efforts and our practical knowledge, ourselves and you, perhaps you agree that in the state of war which we are living through, our practical knowledge they cannot involve all the NATO, for example, standards. So we have to pull our efforts, and our National Medical Military Academy has to approve the standards trainer for train the trainer. And we have to have the same result as an outcome. Methods could be, or techniques could be different, but the knowledge and the experience when we complete the course must be the same, and they have to meet 12 major requirements. Sorry, I just would like to elaborate on that a bit. There is one issue where I believe we agree on which, this point of time, the Military Medical Academy will not help us. Being the only person who graduated from that medical military university and was drafted through that academy, and they had those medical courses, I would like to say that never any certificate will give anybody the right to teach anybody else. To teach somebody else is a very responsible matter. To do that, you have to have a certain competence and knowledge. I believe only by pulling joining all those knowledge in instructors group, because the military academy teaches the officers, the medical officers. I myself, I'm a physician medical officer, but I met some of my colleagues and who said, we'll train all the officers, medical officers, will become the trainers. No, this is not the case. I know the people who have nothing to do with medicine, generally speaking, but they are ideal trainers, and they can teach people whatever could happen. They would know what they have to do in order to save the situation. I believe the initiators, the driving force of this process must be those NGOs who, for those 2 years, were teaching people there who have necessary knowledge, and they are trainers, have the talent and competence how to do that. And sorry, but we have to a bit, I put it straightforward, we have to just to forget about our stars on our shoulder boards and to absorb the knowledge from the knowledgeable people. If those people who are going to pass the knowledge, they do not know how to work with the audience, with the attendees, we won't have any result. Given whatever simplicity, I emphasize it, simplicity of the TCCC protocols, but we need really gifted first top-notch trainers to be educated here or to be trained here, only by pulling our efforts. Because the knowledge and competence is available only to the NGO. This is 150% true. One more minute, we're going to end our press conference. I would like to thank one person we did mention here, Natalia Linishina. She's now in Estonia, and also the wonderful organization Ukrainian women living in Estonia. This again, another NGO who helped us all the time, trying to take care of different things, different organizing matters. They help our military guys, our sick persons with treatment, everything. I believe they listen to us now. I would like to convey our message of greetings to them, and I really wish very much to give a hug to everybody and to thank everybody. Only united we stand. The Military Medical Academy is the tool which the public organization have to use in order to legalize all our knowledge by uniting our efforts. Oh, maybe not everybody knows, not everybody who has the knowledge could become a good trainer. It requires a talent. Very briefly, I would like to add to the answer provided to you before me. The association which Anna and Roman were talking about, or the pooling of efforts, and what you meant perhaps, I'm talking about setting up the school of paramedicine in Ukraine. The volunteers and the trainers has been discussing a lot this issue. Maybe you'll join the process of creating this school. And in the end, a short video. So we have the same country. Everybody has to create. It's very cool. Trainers center, no problem, but must be somebody on the top. And when we sit around the round table, there must be somebody who actually establishes the rules of the game. In the end, we have to save the human lives, and that's why to minimize the injuries and a number of disabled or persons or injured persons. It give me pain in my heart when I could see that the guy, a young guy who had just a simple wound in his thigh, actually died because of the loss of blood. And we are talking not about the certificate as a paper, but the special knowledge to save their lives. We exhausted our time. We have to close this briefing. I think I would like to thank the UCMC for the opportunity given to us to speak here. Thank you. We're always happy to see you here. Goodbye.